We are live.
It is?
Just point that way.
Can it hear us?
Yeah, they can hear you. If anyone's watching, which no one's watching right now, so you're fine.
Hi, people.
Want to get it ready?
My name's Chloe. I'm not doing my book talk yet.
Let me get this
Yet
stuff.
is not a word, but hi.
To the table off of.
Alicia, if you're watching
Don't
this,
need it?
hi. I just mentioned your name live. Lena, say something. You're on TV.
Yeah, I'm on TV. No, I'm not. I'm on a live broadcast.
Hey, should I sit like this during the book talk? To make me look taller, and then you can just do a headshot. And then it'll go down to you, and you'll have to drop the camera, but it'll still make me seem really tall. Okay.
Alright, yep, it's working.
Wait, I almost practiced again, but then I was like, wait, they can hear me, Chloe.
Hi, Jessica, if you're watching this.
Hi, Alicia. I just mentioned your name on like live TV. Hi.
Hi, Kaden. Hi, Chris.
It tells me how many people are watching, which right now is 2 classes.
Ah, hi.
2 classes
Lola
watching.
wants a drink.
They must be like, wow, why are all these lame girls in the library?
Yeah.
They're probably laughing right now. Are you all laughing? Comment down below.
Visit my channel.
You gotta say your channel name.
Good neighbor, State Farm is there.
No, it's on live. But 2 classes can hear you right now. There are 2 classes watching.
Hi, how are y'all doing today?
See how many nations.
So, is your life okay, guys?
How many classes are watching, Chloe?
I don't want the camera missing. It's my
They'd be like, Alex is on here, dang it. Everybody gonna confirm me, so I heard you
Was
reading
I
in the
on the camera
library.
when I was scrolling? Was I? Huh? Was I on the camera when I was scrolling? Good. Okay.
No, I was. So is my eyelash.
Here, wait. Watch this.
Itches.
Wait, look.
I wonder if Mr. Franklin is watching.
Like I saw that, you kids. Hey, Miss Franklin, if you're watching.
He's Should I tell Mr. Lynn?
But my eyes is itchy.
Yeah.
Okay. Mr. Lynn, look.
It's impossible. Okay. Alright. We're ready to go. Alright, thank you everyone for coming out, or tuning in at least to our book talk. This is the first time we've done it live like this. We hope it goes well. We have a book fair starting in a week, so we wanted to tell you about some of the upcoming books that are coming out and get you excited about them. We'll also be watching some trailers next week, so you can look forward to that in your reading class. So they'll be showing those at some point next week, so just ask your reading teacher about that. But today we're going to talk about 5 specific books that are coming to the book fair. Maybe some of them will appeal to you, and then you can pick it up next week, okay? All right, so without further ado, here are our 5 books.
Hi, my name is Alex, and I read the book Scar Island by Dan Jemmett Hart. This book is an adventure book. I read this book in 2 days. This book is a standalone book, which means it does not have a series. This book is about 3 kids that go to a school for discipline. They really didn't tell what they did, but I know that the main character was about Cyrus. The setting is at a school that used to be a psycho home for crazy people, but now it's a bad school for bad kids. What I really liked about this book is it had a very good twist. Something I didn't like about the book was the man that drove them there on the boat was always making fun of one of the kids, and he laughed very meaningful. This book is I'm about to read a paragraph out of the book. Chapter 1, A Dark Place Indeed. It's no fun shivering when you're wearing handcuffs. It doesn't help to be seasick either. Jonathan Grisby sat hunched over in the wildly rocking boat and tried not to throw up, and he tried not to let his teeth chatter together so hard that they shattered. And he tried at the same time to look like he didn't care. It wasn't easy. The little boat rocked off of each wave and crashed into the next with a jolt that sent shots of pain into his rear. From the metal bench, his clothes were wet from the salty spray. This wind kept blowing his straight black hair into his eyes, and with his handcuffs he couldn't brush it away. The sun was already down, and every second brought more darkness. He noticed the boat pilot grinning at him. It wasn't a nice grin. That's one chapter out of the book. I give this book a 5 out of 5. If you want to find out what happens next, pick up a copy of the book at the book fair next week. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Chloe Collins, and I read the book Zero Day by Jane Gangsey. This book fits into the realistic fiction genre. I read this book in about 6 days, and this book is a standalone book, which means it's not part of a series. This book is about Addie Webster, who disappeared around 8 years ago, and she suddenly came back. It is up to her childhood friend, Darrow, to find out her secret. The protagonist in this story is 16-year-old Addie Webster. And the setting in this story is mostly in Virginia. What I really liked about this book is the mysterious theme, and something I did not like about it is how it kept switching the perspective back and forth. Now I'm going to read a paragraph out of this book. All that remained for Addie's family and friends was a half-finished drawing on an easel, a swing creaking lifelessly in the breeze, a single moment when time had stopped, now circled forever in their memories with permanent ink, framing the what-ifs. What if I had stopped reviewing the speech and checked on my daughter? What if I'd delayed the meeting about the new software rollout? What if I'd just let Addie win that stupid game? Maybe she'd still be here. From that day on, Darrow kept a red checker in his pocket, a chipped plastic talisman pressing against his leg, rough and cool beneath his fingers. Even as he grew older, he carried the thing endlessly, clinging to a child's hope that someday, maybe someday, if he was good enough, strong enough, honorable enough, he'd get a do-over. One last chance to make his final move. I give this book a 4.5 stars out of 5. And if you would like to find out what happens next, pick up a copy of the book at the book fair next week.
My name is Rena Paran, and the book I read was called Irina's Children. And the author of this book was Tiller J. Mazzio. And this book fits in the genre of a biography. I read this book in 2 days. This book is a standalone book, which means that it does not have any other books part of a series. This book is about this woman named Irina who saved Jewish children from the Warsaw Ghetto. The protagonist is Irina Sender, who was a short woman, and the setting is in Poland in the Warsaw Ghetto from the time 1939 to 1945. What I really liked about this book is that it talked about the history of people, and I like history. Something that I didn't like about this book is that it needs more scenes. And now I'm going to read a passage out of this book. Young Piotr waited in the shadows. His aunt held his hand and looked down the street, watching the German soldiers. The soldiers did not have to be afraid like everyone else. They had guns swinging at their side. Auntie was holding Piotr's baby cousin in her other arm, and the grown-ups were worried. It would be bad if the baby started crying. The soldiers turned the corner at the end of the street. A hand fell heavy on Piotr's soldiers. His father? No. His father was not coming with him, and neither was his mother. He'd never been away from his parents before, and it was hard to understand what was happening. He was 4 now. Run! Someone hissed. Run! That's what they were waiting for. Piotr ran. He ran as fast as he could toward the trees where the hole was waiting. And this is a picture of Irina Sendler. And this is the cover of the book. This is what it looks like. And if you would like to find out what happens next, pick up a copy of the book at the book fair.
My name is Morgan Kelly, and I read the book Overturned by Lamar Gills. This book fits in the genre realistic fiction. I read this book in about a week. This book is a standalone book, which means it's not part of a series. The story is about a girl named Nikki whose father gets sent to prison for murder. Her and her father try to see who framed him. The protagonist is Nikki Tate. She likes to play poker with her friends, even though she's underage. The setting is Vegas in a hotel. What I really liked about this book is the girl goes on an adventure with her dad to see who framed him. What I don't like about this book is underage gambling. I am going to read a passage from the back of the book. Her dad is sitting on a death row, convicted of killing his best friend in a gambling dispute turned ugly. And for 5 years, he's maintained his innocence. But Nikki wants no part of that. She's been working on an Operation Escape Vegas, playing an illegal card game so she could save up enough money to get out come graduation day. I give this book 5 stars out of 5. If you would like to see what happens next, pick up a copy of this book in the book fair coming next week.
My name is Isabella Freeman, and I read the book Worthy by Donna Cooner. This book fits in a genre of romance. I read this book in a full week. This book is a standalone book, which means it's not part of a series. The story is about Lyndon. The protagonist is the app Worthy. The setting is present-day high school. What I really liked about this book is that it teaches about self-value. Something I didn't like about this book is that there were really a lot of protagonists other than the app. And I'm going to read a passage in the back of the book. It's this new app that posts pictures of couples and asks, is the girl worthy of the guy? Suddenly, relationships implode as the votes climb and the comments get real ugly really fast. At first, Lyndon is focused on other things, like cute Alex Rivera from Prom Comedy, her writing. But soon she's intrigued by Worthy. Who's posting pictures? Who's voting? And what will happen when spotlights turns on Lyndon? Donna Cooner, author of Can't Look Away, delivers another unputdownable story of social media betrayal. If you'd like to find out about what happens next, pick up a copy of the book at the book fair next week. I give this book 5 stars out of 5.
All right, thank you everyone for watching our video. I hope you enjoyed it and were inspired to read more. And I would like to thank all of my readers for coming out. So everybody wave to the people out in Turnerland. All right, and we'll hope to see you at the book fair. Bye-bye.